The upcoming first race, a condition trotting event, the purse $11,000. Mass Night, owned by Richard Mason Jr., driven by Ivan Davies. Number 2, Royal Orchard, owned by Ray Campbell Jr., driven by Jay Randall. Number 3, Summer Prayer, owned by the DeStefano and Son Stable and Eric Dixon, the driver Joe DeStefano. Number 4, The Fourth Estate, owned by Todd O'Day and Laurie Dupuis. Todd O'Day driving. And number 5, Ethan's Fire, owned by Terrence McGee, Bruce Ranger, and the Sulky. The trotters are making their way back to the starting gate. Behind the gate. Number 2, Royal Orchard, is off the gate. And they're off. Off stride goes the Fourth Estate. The Fourth Estate has gone off stride and trails. On the outside, there goes Ethan's Fire. Ethan's Fire comes on to get the lead. Summer Prayer is dropped in second. Line back to Mass Night, trotting third. Followed up by Royal Orchard. Way back from the field, back on the trot, it's the Fourth Estate. Paddock turned the first time. Ethan's Fire shows the way by a length. Moving up on the outside. Mass Night, Summer Prayer towards the inside as they trot by the opening quarter in 30-2. They're in the stretch for the first time. And Bruce Ranger has Ethan's Fire at 4-5, setting the tempo. Summer Prayer tracks in second, gap of a length and a half to Mass Night at the cones in third. Next in line in fourth, it's Royal Orchard. And true on the field once again, off stride goes the Fourth Estate as they swing around the clubhouse turn. Ethan's Fire with the lead. Once again, moving up on the outside, here comes Mass Night to challenge for the lead. Summer Prayer now locked in towards the inside. They're halfway home in 101 flat. They strain out down the backstretch. Ethan's Fire continues to lead. Mass Night on the rim. Boxed in towards the inside, Summer Prayer, followed by Royal Orchard. Trailing the field, it's the Fourth Estate as they round the far turn. Ethan's Fire still with the lead. Shown the way by a length up on the outside. Mass Night down inside. Summer Prayer 3/4 up in 1:30-2. They're on the final turn. Ethan's Fire 3 parts of a length. Mass Night draws alongside. Summer Prayer looking for racing room. Moving up on the outside. Racing in fourth. Here comes Royal Orchard. They're at the top of the stretch and turn for home. Ethan's Fire set down for the stretch drive. Mass Night bearing down on the outside off the pylons with nowhere to go. Summer Prayer, but it's still Ethan's Fire on the grandstand side. Here comes Royal Orchard in deep stretch. Ethan's Fire in front. Time for the mile, 2 minutes and 4/5. In by Terrence McGee and driven to victory by Bruce Ranger. Ethan's Fire trotting the mile in 2 minutes and 4/5. Ethan's Fire, your race winner. Top down, 4-3, 2-5-1 on the bottom. For race number 2, a condition trotting event, the purse $17,500. Louis Dog, owned by Rick Dixon, driven by Luke Canners. Number 2 is Gumdrop Hanover, owned by Louis Zero Giannis, the driver Jim Hardy. Number 3, Stevick, owned by Shirley Machad, driven by Ivan Davies. Number 4, Billy B., owned by Joe Wheeler, the driver Wally Watson. Credit Rena, number 5, owned by Mona Dodd, driven by Brett Beckwith. Number 6, Muscle Gene, owned by Ron Cushing and Hunter Dunn Loftus. Ron Cushing driving. And number 7, Paran, owned by Stewart Wright, Will Coxon, and Doherty. Bruce Ranger in the sulky. 1 minute. It is now post back stretch. Second race trotters in behind the gate. And they're off from the inside. Dewey Dog kicks out for the lead from between horses. Billy B far outside. There goes Paran. Gumdrop Hanover is dropped in fourth. A length back to Stevick. Then comes Credit Rena. And on the field, that's Muscle Gene. Paddock turned the first time. Billy B takes command. Billy B on top here, shown the way by a length and a half over Dewey Dog. Piranha's dropped in third, gap of 2 lengths to Gumdrop Hanover at the pylons in fourth as they trot by the opening quarter and 27-4. Passing the stands for the first time, Wally Watson has Billy B. Long shot here at 14-1 on top by 2. Dewey Dog tracks in second. Piran third. Up on the outside, here comes Stevick from fourth. Locked in Gumdrop Hanover, followed by Credit Rena. And true on the field, it's Muscle Gene as they swing around the clubhouse turn. Billy B shows the way. Pocket trip, Dewey Dog right there, tucked in, a cozy second. On the rim advancing, here comes Piran. Piran on the outside now, second. Halftime goes in 58 seconds flat. They straighten out down the backstretch. Billy B continues to lead. Piran on the outside is second. Locked in, Dewey Dog racing in third. Stevick on the outside, second over in fourth. Covering up towards the inside, Gumdrop Hanover. Muscle Gene on the outside. And now, true in the field, it's Credit Rena. 3/4 here in 1:26-4. They're on the final turn. Billy B under heavy pressure from Piran. Right there on the outside, those two heads apart. Stevick will have to go 3 wide from third. Down inside, gapping in fourth, Dewey Dog. They're at the top of the stretch and turn for home. Off stride goes Dewey Dog. They're homeward bound, and it's Billy B, and he's got the lead. Shaking loose on the outside. Here comes Stevick gaining ground. Stevick on the outside. Billy B responding. Billy B refuses to lose. It will be Billy B in front. Time for the mile, 1:56-2. Billy B trotting the mile in 1:56. And the horses are entering the track for race number 3. A conditioned trotting event. The purse $7,000. Owned by David Zuckerman, driven by Jim Hardy. Number 2, One Swan for All. Owned by Lisa Watson, driven by Wally Watson. Number 3, Never Die. Owned by Mike Graham, Stephen Wilson, and Mike Cushing, driven by Stephen Wilson. Number 4 is Order by Me, owned by Robert Jones, the driver Todd O'Day. The Lindy Treaty, number 5, owned by Barry Richard, driven by Joe Richard. And number 6, Wanna Hall, owned by Terrence McGee, Kevin Switzer Jr. in the sulky. Post time for the upcoming. And behind the gate. And they're off from the inside. Prairie Romeo going out for the lead from between horses. Never Die 3 wide. There goes the Lindy Treaty. They're stacked up 3 deep into the first turn. One Swan for All comes away racing in fourth. Length back to Order by Me. And true on the field, it's Wanna Hall. Paddock turned the first time. The Lindy Treaty takes command. It's the Lindy Treaty on the front end. He leads it by about a length and a half. Prairie Romeo right there in second. Never Die moving up towards the inside third as they trot by the opening quarter in 27-3. They're in the stretch for the first time. Joe Wishart has the Lindy Treaty on top by a length. Tracking in second, Prairie Romeo. Close at third, it's Never Die. Followed by One Swan for All racing in fourth. Then comes Order by Me at the back of the pack. It's Wanna Hall. As they swing around the clubhouse turn, the Lindy Treaty in command. First up on the outside, here comes Never Die on the march from second. Now locked in, Prairie Romeo is third up on the outside with cover. There goes One Swan for All racing in fourth. Halftime goes in 59-1. They straighten out down the backstretch. It's the Lindy Treaty at 6-1, showing the way. 3 parts of a length. Never Die right there on the outside, a challenge for the lead. Prairie Romeo pinned in at the pylons. Up on the outside, poised in fourth. One Swan for All. As they round the far turn, it's the Lindy Treaty digging in right there on the outside. Never Die. Those two side by side. 3/4 in 1:28-1. They're on the final turn. It's the Lindy Treaty with a short lead. Never Die right there on the outside. Up on the outside. 3 wide. Here comes One Swan for All. One Swan for All up on the outside. 3 wide. They're at the top of the stretch and turn for home. It's the Lindy Treaty. Run alongside Never Die, grandstand side. Here comes Once One for All, coming on and coming at them. Once One for All on the inside. Never Die takes command. It will be Never Die coming on. Once One for All was second. 159 and 1. A 13-year-old brown gelding by credit winner out of with. These are the trotters for race number 4. Number 1 is Workout Girl, owned by George Maluki and driven by Sean Gray. Number 2, Lindy on Stage, owned by John and Susan Muldoon, the driver Wally Watson. Number 3 is Mr. Zuinetti, owned by Louis Zerogiannis, driven by Jim Hardy. Number 4, Flying Formation, owned by the Am Viking Racing Stable, Purple Haze Stables, and Andrew, the driver Luke Hanners. Royally Raised, number 5, owned by Eric Dixon and Ray Campbell Jr., driven by Todd O'Day. Number 6, Gone Madigan, owned by Owen Davies, driven by Ivan Davies. Number 7 is Barmaid Express, owned by Linda and Robert Kenny, Bruce Ranger driving. And number 8, Fogwatch, owned by Catherine Dixon, Jay Randall in the sulky. The trotters are making their way back to the starting gate. The back stretch. 4th race trotters in behind the gate. And they're all from the inside. Lindy on Stage pushes out for the lead. There goes Flying Formation. Down inside, Workout Girl. On the outside, Mr. Zuinetti comes away in 4th. Followed by Royally Raised. Length back, Gone Madigan. Then comes Barmaid Express. And on the field, it's Fogwatch. Paddock turn the first time. It's Flying Formation on the front end. He leads it by length. Right there in second. Lindy on Stage up on the outside. Here comes Workout Girl on the march from 3rd. Opening quarter on the board goes in 29 and 1. Passing the stands for the first time. Driving up on the outside. Here comes Workout Girl. And now Sean Gray puts Workout Girl on the point. Back to second, Flying Formation. Lindy on Stage trotting 3rd. Mr. Zuinetti at the cones in 4th. On the outside, Gone Madigan locked in. It's Royally Raised. Barmaid Express. And on the field, it's Fogwatch as they swing around the clubhouse turn. Workout Girl at 3 to 5 in command. Right there in second, Flying Formation. Lindy on Stage at the pylons in 3rd. Up on the outside, Mr. Zuinetti racing in 4th. Halftime goes in 59 and 4. They strain out down the backstretch. Workout Girl in command. It's Flying Formation tucked in, racing in 2nd. Mr. Zuinetti will have to do better on the outside 3rd, locked in. Lindy on Stage racing in 4th. There goes Gone Madigan, 2nd over. Covered up toward the inside, Royally Raised. 3/4 in 1, 28 and 2. They're on the final turn. Off stride on the front end. Workout Girl. Costly break here for Workout Girl. Has gone off stride. It's now Flying Formation on top. Flying Formation with the lead. Down inside, Lindy on Stage up on the outside. 3 wide. Gone Madigan. They're homeward bound. And Flying Formation strides out to a 2-length lead. Lindy on Stage giving chase. On the outside, Gone Madigan coming down to the wire. It's Flying Formation. It will be Flying Formation in front. Lindy on Stage was 2nd. Looked like Mr. Zuinetti 3rd. Time for the mile, 1:58. Turning to the winner's circle, number 4, Flying Formation. A 3-year-old big Flying Formation trained by Jimmy Nickerson and driven to a new lifetime record by Luke Hanners. Time for the mile, 1 race is official. Here is the order of finish. Number 1, Workout Girl 8th. Lindy on Stage was 2nd. Mr. Zuinetti 3rd. Flying Formation, your race winner. Race. An open pacing event for fillies and mares. The purse, $20,000. These are the pacers for race number 5. Number 1, Pammy Joe, owned by Alicia Gray, driven by Sean Gray. Number 2, Newsy Inn, All by Ron Cushing and Kevin Swick, the driver Ron Cushing. Number 3, Tony Ann. All by Linwood Higgins, the driver Nick Raffam. Scratch number 4, Pure Cotton. Audacious Hanover, number 5. All by Mark Reynolds and Richard Cortese. Luke Hanner's driving. And rounding out the field, number 6, Powered by Mock. Owned by the Fox Racing Stable, Jay Randall in the sulky. Race 5 Pacers and behind the gate. And they're off. Fast start from the outside. Powered by Mock. Powered by Mock. Quickly out for the lead. Down inside. A Newsy N. Followed by Pammy Joe, comes away racing third. Gap of a length and a half to Audacious Hanover. And on the field, that's Tony Ann. Paddock turn the first time, rolling up on the outside. Powered by Mock. Powered by Mock on the outside. Racing in second, Newsy N. As they pace by the opening quarter. And 26-2. They're in the stretch for the first time. And Jay Randall puts Powered by Mock on top by a length. Right there in second, Newsy in. Pammy Joe right there, a close at third. Length back towards the inside. It's Audacious Hanover at the back of the pack. It's Tony Ann, fifth and last. As they swing around the clubhouse turn. Powered by Mock in command. He leads it by a length. In the pocket, Newsy in, a cozy second. Down inside, Pammy Joe right there. Watching it from third. They're halfway home in 55-3. They strain out down the backstretch. Powered by Mock continues to lead. Newsy N right there drafting along in second. First up on the outside advancing. Here comes Audacious Hanover. Boxed in towards the inside. Pammy Joe entry on the field, but on the move, it's Tony Ann as they round the far turn. Powered by Mock in command. Newsy N giving chase up on the outside. It's Audacious Hanover racing in third. 3/4 here in 1:23-4. They're on the final turn. Powered by Mock, and he's got the lead. Right on the outside, here comes Audacious Hanover. Those two now heads apart up on the outside, 3 wide. Tony Ann down inside, Newsy N back to fourth. They're homeward bound. Powered by Mock has that lead. Bearing down on the outside, Audacious Hanover. Audacious Hanover, Powered by Mock up the pylons with a burst of speed. Here comes Newsy N. Newsy N coming on. Time for the mile, 1:52-4. Ultimate Art by Art Major. All by Ron Cushing and Kevin Swick, trained by Heidi Gibbs. Driven to a new lifetime record by Ron Cushing. The fifth race, scratch 3, 2, back 4, race number 6. A conditioned trotting event. The purse, $10,000. Trotters for race number 6. Number 1 is Buzz. All by Howard Jacobs, driven by Brett Pickwith. Number 2, Tabasco. Owned by the DiStefano and Son stable, driven by Joe DiStefano. Number 3, Mad Dog. Owned by Michelle and Jeffrey Nelson, driven by Luke Hanners. Number 4, Life Well Lived, owned by the Fox Racing Stable, driven by Bruce Ranger. You Banshee, number 5, owned by Elisha Lafreniere, the driver Kevin Switzer Jr. Number 6 is Smooth Acceleration, owned by William Phipps, driven by Mark Athern. Number 7, Massive Lightning, owned by Robert Kopak, driven by Nick Raffam. Number 8, Clarion Hall, owned by Rosalind Gilman and Gerald McKenzie Jr., Sean Gray driving, and number 9, Jericho, owned by Linda and Robert Kinney, Jim Hardy, and the Salt. And the gate moves on to the backstretch. Race 6 trotters in behind the gate. Number 9, Jericho, is off the gate. And they're off from the inside. Buzz steps out for the lead. There goes Life Well Lived. Far outside off stride, Clarion Hall. Clarion Hall has gone off stride. Mad Dog has dropped in third. Length back, Ubenji fourth. On the outside, Smooth Acceleration. Down inside, it's Tabasco, gap of 2 lengths, Massive Lightning, followed by Jericho, and way back from the field, off stride, it's Clarion Hall. Opening quarter on the board goes in 27-2. They're in the stretch for the first time, and it's Buzz, Brett Beckwith, and Buzz on top by a length. Life Well Lived right there in second. Mad Dog a close at third. Gap of 2, Ubangi is fourth, followed by Tabasco, racing in fifth. Then comes Smooth Acceleration, Massive Lightning, Jericho, and on the field once again off stride, it's Clarion Hall. As they swing around the clubhouse turn, Buzz looking to make it 3 in a row, on top by a full length. Life Well Lived right there, a snug second. Halftime goes in 56-2. They straighten out down the backstretch. Buzz continues to lead. Life Well Lived is second. Mad Dog takes up the chase in third. Up on the outside, there goes Tabasco. Gapping on the inside, Ubangi. Shaking loose on the outside, Massive Lightning. As they round the fourth turn, Buzz has been there every step of the way. Right there in hot pursuit. Life Well Lived. 3/4 on the board here in 125-3. They round the final turn. Buzz still with the lead. Life Well Lived takes aim on the outside. Down inside, Mad Dog racing in third. Tabasco on the outside, 3 wide. There goes Massive Lightning racing in fifth. They're at the top of the stretch and turn for home, and Tabasco comes on to get the lead with Life Well Lived, and now Life Well Lived takes command, opens up by 3. Tabasco on the outside towards the inside. Mad Dog in deep stretch. It will be Life Well Lived in front. Tabasco was second, Mad Dog third. Time winner number 4, Life Well Lived. An 8-year-old big gelding by Muscle Mass, out of Life Class by Angus Hall. Fox Racing Stable, trained by Jimmy Nickerson. Training double for Jimmy Nickerson. And driven to victory by Bruce Ranger. Driving all tickets until the results are official. Race 6 is onto the racetrack for the upcoming 7th race, a conditioned trotting event. The per 17,500 bull, owned by William Phipps and Gretchen a third, driven by Mark a third. Number 2 is Big Al M, owned by Zach Vickerson, driven by Jay Randall. Number 3 is Swan Fine Lady, owned by Ron Cushing, Kevin Swick, and Lance Downs, the driver Ron Cushing. Number 4, Blue Knight, owned by Richard Mason Jr., driven by Sean Gray. Joey Batts, number 5, owned by Scott Dillon and Michelle Nelson. Brent Beckwith driving. And number 6, Ray Barnes, owned by Earl and Kathy Beeman and Shirley Mashad. Ivan Davies in the sulky. This field. And they're off on the outside. There goes Joey Batts. Quick start for Joey Batts. Crosses over and takes command. Big LM comes away in second. Swan Fine Lady is dropped in third. Length back to Blue Knight racing in fourth. Followed by Make It a Double. And on the field, that's Ray Barnes. Paddock turn the first time. Joey Batts shows away by 2. Racing in second. Big LM, Swan Fine Lady moving up towards the inside third as they trot by the opening quarter. In 28-2, they're in the stretch for the first time. And Brett Beckwith has Joey Batts on top by a full length. Big LM right there in second. Swan Fine Lady towards the inside is third. Next in line, Blue Knight. Then comes Ray Barnes, and on the field, it's Make It a Double. As they swing around the clubhouse turn, Joey Batts in command. He leads it by a length. Right there, riding the pocket in second. Big LM first up on the outside, launching his bid. Here comes Blue Knight. Blue Knight moving up on the outside from third. Halftime goes in 58-3. They straighten out down the backstretch. Joey Batts slugging it out here with Blue Knight right there on the outside. Those two heads apart, heading toward that 3/4 mile marker. And Blue Knight puts ahead in front. Joey Batts battles back toward the inside. Big LM right there in third. Ray Barnes on the outside, racing at fourth, down inside. A Swan Fine Lady. 3/4 on the board here in 1:26-1. They run the final turn. Blue Knight on the outside, coming back down on the inside. Joey Bats there, side by side. Up on the outside, Big LM racing in third. They're at the top of the stretch and turn for home. Down on the inside, Joey Bats game. Joey Bats down inside, right there on the outside. Blue Knight there, stride for stride. It's a fight to the finish. Joey Bats and Blue Knight. Blue Knight puts ahead in front, deep stretch. It will be Blue Knight coming on. Time for the mile, 1:55-4. Returning to the winner's circle, number 4, and driven to victory by Sean Gray. Blue Knight trotting the mile in 1:55-4. Double was 6th. Big LM 3rd. A Swan Fine Lady 5th. Blue Knight, your race winner. Joey Bats 2nd. Ray Barnes, Lone Star Fashion. The horses are on the track for the upcoming 8th race. A condition trotting event. The purse, $13,500. Number 1, Temantix, owned by Melissa Butcher, driven by Jay Randall. Number 2 is Emma Jean Jellybean, owned by Nelson DePompo Jr., Graham Smith, and DePompo, driven by Stephen Wilson. Scratch number 3, Lone Star Fashion. Number 4, Power Mitt, owned by Dana Goading, driven by Mike Stevenson. Marauder Sealster, number 5, owned by Shirley Mashad, driven by Ivan Davies. Number 6 is Hoda Hanover, owned by George Palukian, driven by Sean Gray. Number 7, Mason Blues, owned by William Augustine and Scott Cluo. Luke Hanners driving. And number 8, Gailey Hill, owned by Frank Canzone and Yannick Gingras. Bruce Ranger in the sulky. Post time for the up. On to the back stretch. 8th race trotters in behind the gate. And they're off from the inside. Emma Jean Jellybean going out for the lead from between horses. Mason Blues far outside Gailey Hill. Also on the move, it's Hoda Hanover down inside. Power Mitt, length back to Temantix. And true on the field, it's Marauder Sealster. Paddock turned the first time, rolling up on the outside. Here comes Gailey Hill. And Gailey Hill draws clear, leads it by length. Moving up on the outside, Hoda Hanover, as they trot by the opening quarter in 27-4. They're in the stretch for the first time. Gailey Hill out on top here, shown the way by a length and a half. On the outside, Hoda Hanover. Down inside, Mason Blues trotting third, gap at 3. Emma Jean Jellybean is 4th, followed by Power Mitt. On the outside, Temantix, and true on the field, it's Marauder Sealster as they swing around the clubhouse turn. Freehold Raceway Invader, Gailey Hill on the front end, driving up on the outside with a rush. Here comes Temantix. Temantix moving up on the outside. He's now second and challenging for the lead. Halftime goes in 58-1. They strain out down the backstretch. Gailey Hill shows the way, 3 points of a length on the rim. Temantix. Hoda Hanover towards the inside, racing third. There goes Power Mitt moving up on the outside, second over. Trapped in towards the inside, Mason Blues racing in 5th. As they round the far turn, Gailey Hill has been there all the way. Temantix on the outside, 3/4 on the board here in 127-3. They're on the final turn. Gailey Hill under heavy pressure from Temantix. Right there on the outside. Those two now heads apart. Hoda Hanover locked in towards the inside. Racing third up on the outside. 3 wide from the back of the pack. Here comes Marauder Sealster. They're at the top of the stretch and turn for home. On the outside, Temantix puts ahead in front. Gailey Hill is giving way down inside. Here comes Hoda Hanover. Far outside, Marauder Sealster. But it's Temantix towards the inside. Hoda Hanover. Temantix coming on. Time for the mile, 1:58-2. Returning to the winner's circle, number 1, Temantix. The mile in 1:58-2. Owned by Richard Mason Jr., driven by Sean Gray. Number 2, Milford Z. Tam. Owned by William Hart, driven by Brett Beckwith. Number 3 is Sid Finch. Owned by John Bernard, the driver Mike Stevenson. Number 4, Kyrie Dio. Owned by William Phipps, driven by Mark Athern. Northern Skyway, number 5. Owned by Anthony Loico and Bradford Valou, driven by Matt Athern. Number 6 is Sortie Hanover, owned by Weinstein, Lafreniere, Marks, and McDonough, the driver Kevin Switzer Jr. Number 7 is Heart of Gold DV, owned by Mona Dodd, Nick Raffam driving. And number 8, Certify, owned by the Scheigert and Alley's Racing Stable, Luke Hanners in the sulky. The starting gate. And they're off on the outside. Sortie Hanover kicks out for the lead. Off stride goes Northern Skyway on a break. Down inside, Midnight Craze comes away, racing in second. Milford Z. Tam has dropped in third. Length back towards the inside, racing in fourth. It's Heart of Gold DV. A gap of 2 lengths, Sid Finch, followed by Kyrie Dio, followed up by Certify, and way back on the field, back on the trot, it's Northern Skyway. Opening quarter on the board goes in 28 and 2. They're in the stretch for the first time. It's now Midnight Craze. Midnight Craze on the front end. He leads it by length. Sortie Hanover right there in second. Milford Z. Tam towards the inside, chasing in third. There goes Kyrie Dio moving up on the outside, locked in. Heart of Gold DV. On the outside, Certified, Sid Finch. Entry on the field, it's Northern Skyway as they swing around the clubhouse turn. Midnight Craze in command. On the outside, here comes Milford Z. Tam, trapped in towards the inside. Sortie Hanover racing in third. Halftime goes in 58 and 4. On to the backstretch they go. And it's Midnight Craze at 9-2 on top by length. Heading toward that 3/4 mile marker. Down inside, Sortie Hanover. As they round the far turn, Midnight Craze shows the way. 3 parts of a length. Down inside, Sortie Hanover. Racing in second up on the outside, Milford Z. Tam. 3/4 on the board here in 127 and 2. They're on the final turn. Midnight Craze still with the lead. Milford Z. Tam grinding away. Off stride goes Sortie Hanover. Moving up on the outside and gaining ground. Here comes Kyrie Dio. Kyrie Dio now second. They're homeward bound, down on the inside. Midnight Craze has that lead, bearing down Kyrie Dio. Kyrie Dio on the outside, towards the inside. Midnight Craze, Kyrie Dio, deep stretch. Midnight Craze in front. Time for the mile, 1:56 and 4. Returning to the winner's circle, number 1, Midnight Craze. A 12 trained by Richard Mason Jr. Training double for Richard Mason Jr. and driven to victory by Sean Gray. A condition trotting event, the purse $7,500. The driver Mike Stevenson. Number 2, Dixie Slippers, owned by John and Susan Muldoon, the driver Wally Watson. Number 3 is Beantown Madness, owned by the Michael Goldberg Racing Stable, the driver Luke Hanners. Number 4, The Rave, owned by Jim Hardy and Jolene Andrews, driven by Jim Hardy. Omaha, number 5. Owned by Eaton, McHugh, Griffin, and Young, driven by Matt Athern. Number 6, Carson Hill, owned and driven by Todd O'Day. And number 7, Chav Hanover, owned by Dennis Whittemore, Bruce Ranger, and the Sulky. The horses are approaching the starting gate. And 3 Trotters in behind the gate. And they're off. There goes the Rave stepping out for the lead. Right alongside, it's Omaha down inside. Doc Golden Fleece comes away in third. Beantown Madness on the outside, fourth, a length back to Dixie Slippers. Your trailers are Carson Hill, Chav Hanover at the back of the pack. Paddock turn the first time, it's the Rave on top. Driving up on the outside, here comes Beantown Madness. Beantown Madness moving up on the outside now second. Opening quarter on the board goes in 28-4. Passing the stands for the first time. On the outside, Beantown Madness comes on to get the lead. With a rush on the outside, here comes Doc Golden Fleece back to third. It's the Rave. Omaha trotting fourth, followed by Dixie Slippers. At the pylons, up on the outside, Carson Hill. Trolling the field, it's Chav Hanover. As they swing around the clubhouse turn, Beantown Madness, 3 parts of a length. Doc Golden Fleece right there on the outside. Those two now heads apart. Halftime goes in 58 seconds flat. They straighten out down the backstretch. Battle up front. Beantown Madness down inside. Doc Golden Fleece on the rim. The Rave right there, tucked in, racing third, gapping on the inside. Omaha. Carson Hill on the outside, locked in towards the inside. Dixie Slippers. And on the field, 3 wide, but on the move, it's Chav Hanover. As they round the far turn, Beantown Madness has opened up a 2-length lead. 3 quarters on the board in 27-1. They round the final turn. Luke Henners has Beantown Madness on top by 2. The Rave is second. Doc Golden Fleece towards the inside, back to third, up on the outside, 3 wide. From the back of the pack, Chav Hanover has moved into fourth. They're at the top of the stretch and turned for home, and they're all chasing Beantown Madness, who is long gone. The Rave trying to close the gap on the outside, but coming down to the wire, it will be Beantown Madness in front. The Rave was second, Chav Hanover third. Time for the mile, 1:57 and 3. Owned by the Michael Goldberg Racing Stable, trained by Joe Nelson, and driven to victory by Luke Henners. Madness, your race winner. The Rave second. Omaha and Superfecta wagering. Post time for race number 11 in 10 minutes. For the 11th and final race, a condition trotting event, the purse $8,500 11. Number 1, No Time to Play, has been scratched. Number 2, Explosive Ridge, owned by Eaton, McHugh, Griffin, and Young, driven by Nick Raffam. Number 3, Spell Cutie Pie, owned by the Karma Racing Stable, driven by Kevin Switzer Jr. Number 4, Winding Hill, owned by Diane Whittemore, the driver Sean Gray. Captain Blues, number 5, owned by William Augustine, driven by Luke Henners. Number 6 is Dazzling Lindy, owned by the DeStefano & Son Stable, the driver Joe DeStefano. Number 7, Northern Credit, owned by George Zekas, Mike Stevenson driving. And number 8, Bluebird Rocky, owned by William Phipps, Mark Athern in the sulky. Post time on to the backstretch. Nightcap Trotters in behind the gate. 11th and final here at Plainridge Park. And they're off from the inside. Spell Cutie Pie tries for the lead. Mid-pack, there goes Captain Blues. Down inside, Explosive Ridge. Followed by Winding Hill, has dropped in to fourth. Gap of a length and a half to Dazzling Lindy. Followed by Bluebird Rocky, and trailing the field, it's Northern Credit. Paddock turned the first time, rolling up on the outside. Here comes Captain Blues. Captain Blues takes command, leads it by length. Spell Cutie Pie back to second. Opening quarter on the board goes in 27-4. And as they come by the stands for the first time, Luke Henners has Captain Blues on top by length. Spell Cutie Pie right there, tucked in, racing in second. Explosive Ridge a close at third up on the outside. Dazzling Lindy, followed by Winding Hill, gap of 2. Bluebird Rocky, and through on the field, that's Northern Credit. As they swing around the clubhouse turn, Captain Blues in command, driving up on the outside. Here comes Explosive Ridge, now second. Boxed in towards the inside, Spell Cutie Pie right there in third. Halftime goes in 58-2. They straighten out down the back stretch. Captain Blues shows the way 3 parts of a length. Explosive Ridge on the rim, down inside. Spell Cutie Pie chasing in third. Dazzling Lindy moving up on the outside. Down inside, it's Winding Hill, gap of 2 lengths to Bluebird Rocky. And way back from the field, it's Northern Credit as they round the far turn. Battle up front. Captain Blues down inside. Explosive Ridge right there on the outside. Those two side by side. 3/4 here in 127-2. They round the final turn. Captain Blues hanging tough. Grinding away on the outside. Explosive Ridge up on the outside. Gaining ground. Here comes Dazzling Lindy now third. They're at the top of the stretch and turn for home. Captain Blues hanging tough. Explosive Ridge up the pylons. Here comes Spell Cutie Pie on the grandstand side. Dazzling Lindy. Dazzling Lindy towards the inside. Spell Cutie Pie. Spell Cutie Pie coming on. Time for the mile. 158-3. Returning to the winner's circle number by Guccio out of Spell That by Conway Hall. Owned by the Karma Racing Stable, trained by Elisha Lafreniere, and driven to victory by Kevin Switzer. The 11th race is official. Here is the order of finish.